He's ready.
10 minutes late.
I've seen that thing there about that neighbour, but the problem with the neighbours. Seems
Thanks.
they must be like
Everyone good?
walking over tonight.
You good, James? Oscar, you're good?
Why don't you have a this guy doing my jobs? Some governor.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This seems really loud, wow. Okay, this is the Board of Trustees regular meeting. It's August 13th, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. This is meeting number 2019-15. Please take the roll.
President Barry?
Here.
Trustee Vorder?
Here.
Trustee Mallow?
Here.
Trustee Stalker?
Here.
Trustee Olenichek will be here in a few minutes. Trustee Desmond?
Here.
Trustee Phelan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thanks. Would everyone rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, looks like we have no public comments tonight. Very nice, thank you. Item 4 is conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we're going to move on to item 5, swearing in of a new firefighter paramedic in the Oak Lawn Fire Department. I'd like to call up Nicholas Engel. Hi, Nicholas. Come on up. Congratulations. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's great. Here we go. I, Nicholas Engel,
I, Nicholas Engel,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of firefighter paramedic
of firefighter paramedic
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
in the Village of Oak Lawn, County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of firefighter paramedic
of firefighter paramedic
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any family you want to introduce today?
Yeah, I have a bunch of family here.
I can
luckily,
see.
Yeah. So there's my wife Dana. Thank
Hi,
you
Dana.
for being here. My dad Dave, my mom Dana, my wife's family, and my brother Luke, my sister Hallie. Thanks for coming, guys.
Very good. Chief, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you to the board, thank you to the village manager, Mayor Burry, for allowing us to hire quality young men and women. Nick, I've known Nick for only a few weeks now. Tremendous individual. What he won't tell you is Nick is also a trauma ICU surgery nurse at Advocate Christ Medical Center. Also, so brings in a tremendous amount of knowledge to the department.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
That is good.
Tom, do you want to jump in or?
No. Welcome. I sit down here now, Chief.
Oh.
Okay. And The family certainly doesn't have to stay for the meeting. We're not offended if you want to. Totally okay. Yeah. Thank you, welcome. Okay. Item 6, a request to approve a tent sale at Discount Rugs and Furniture at 9659 South Cicero Avenue from August 30th through September 2nd. May I have a motion on item 6?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Trustee Warder made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Phelan, thank you. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Item 7 is the 2018 audit presentation by RSM US LLP. Hello.
How you
Would you
doing,
care to
Mayor Barry?
introduce yourself to the board?
How you doing, everyone? My name is Jeffrey Slade, and I'm an audit manager with RSM. Katie Berry is the engagement leader who could not be here today due to an ongoing family emergency. So I'm here to present in her place. From an overall standpoint, what I'm going to go through over today is the audit process and how it takes place at the village, provide an overall recap, and then some financial highlights. The audit process begins in the planning phase, which takes place from January through March of 2019. During this time, we meet with Brian Hannigan, Adam Metz, and other members of village management to discuss any changes at the village, any new or complex transactions. We perform transactional walkthroughs, and we test controls to make sure that everything's operating effectively and efficiently at the village, and we're able to gain assurance. During our test of controls process, we did not identify any control deficiencies. We then move on to field work. This took place from April through May of 2019, and at this time is when we begin testing more in much more detail. We begin reviewing individual transactions. We perform analytical procedures, whether it be year-over-year trend analysis, budget to actual comparisons, or something in much more detail, such as gallons pumped versus gallons consumed, and get an expected balance and compare that to where the village ends up having their year-end balance being recorded. The third phase is the wrap-up phase, and this takes place in June. And what this entails is pretty much is where we begin wrapping up the audit. We begin requesting any outstanding and open items. We begin drafting the financials, and then finally we hold an exit meeting, which takes place with the board finance committee, and we perform a more in-depth and detailed analysis of the financial statements and the results of how the village performed in that given year. That meeting took place on June 4th, and we issued the financial statements on June 26th of this year. To provide an overall audit recap, this year we propose 4 audit adjustments. The reason for those is mostly just due to information coming to light between the time fieldwork began and the time fieldwork ended, and this is information pertaining to the IMRF actuarial valuations that had not been available to the village when they were preparing their trial balances during the year. This is something that we as an audit team expect, so this is not something that's considered out of the ordinary. From a single audit and or federal compliance point of view, this year we tested the Illinois EPA loan program, in which we did not identify any compliance findings. From a financial highlights standpoint, if you were to take a look at page 1 and 2 of the village's comprehensive annual financial report, this is where you'll find our audit opinion. And this year we issued an unmodified opinion, which is otherwise known as a clean opinion, meaning we did not identify any material misstatements within the village's records. On page 2 of the audit opinion, there is one additional paragraph that you'll find. It's called an emphasis of matter paragraph, and what this relates to is the village's implementation of GASB Statement 75, which modified the financial reporting of the village's other post-employment benefits, as this resulted in a restatement. The restatement, however, was due to a change in accounting pronouncement rather than due to errors, so there's much less issues being taken place, as this is something being required by government auditing standards rather than something being identified from a prior year error standpoint. if you were to take a look at the village's CAFR, you'll note that it's about a 200-page document. I don't think anyone here is going to read every single page. It takes months to prepare and a long time to go through. However, if you were to look at pages 3 to 21, this is where you'll find management's discussion and analysis. And what this really does is it really encapsulates down the whole entire CAFR into about an 18-page overall summary where you'll find information on new transactions, year-over-year transactions and changes from the governmental funds, the business type activities. You'll also find ongoing projects at the village and new and upcoming projects as well. On page 27 is where we move on, and you find the statement of revenues, expenditures, and change in fund balance for the village's governmental funds. And what the governmental funds represent are the village's core funds and programs, such as the general fund and their overall operating process. From the overall standpoint, the general fund balance increased by $680,000 this year, and the overall increase at the village's governmental funds increased by about $231,000. So overall, it was a relatively flat year when compared to the prior. If we were to flip over into the flip to page 172 of the CAFR, is where you'll see it's in the statistical section of the CAFR, which is where you'll see overall the trends of how the village's net position has been trending year to year, dating back to 2009. And what you'll see is how the village's expenditures are increasing at a greater rate than the revenue that's being brought in. And a lot of this is being attributed to the overall pension funds and other post-employments and how that's impacting the village on a year-to-year basis. The next other piece that I would like to highlight is on page 187. And what this is encapsulating is the village's debt and how it's impacted the governmental activities over a 10-year trend. And I'd like to highlight that the village has had plans in place to continue lowering its outstanding debt, where we'll see from just as recently as 2012 to comparing it till now, you'll see that the governmental activities debt has decreased by about $20 million. So they made a concerted effort to decrease costs and also decrease its outstanding debt as it stands. One last piece to highlight is just that it's between pages 114, 116, and 127. And what this is, it's breaking out what's considered to be the non-major funds, and to show how the village has been working to reduce those deficit balances. They've had a plan in place, and they continue working on that. And outside of just one fund, the rest have been continuing to be reduced on a year-over-year basis. So those are a few financial highlights that I wanted to bring up today. And the last piece to discuss is the other deliverables. Each year we issue TIF compliance reports, and that year we did not. This year we also did not identify any compliance findings. With that said, that is all I have for.
Thank you. Are there any
If there's
questions?
any questions?
I just want to make it clear that not finding compliance finding means that there were no problems, correct?
That's correct. We
It just is a terrible way to talk about a report not having any problems by saying you didn't have any findings. Small point. Small point.
Yes.
Thank you.
It was a clean report. Thank you.
Jeff is a proud alum of Oaklawn High School, Sandy. I don't know if she heard that.
We won't hold that against you.
Sorry.
We only educate the best in Oakland.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or comments? Okay, thank you very much. Very good. We're gonna move on to item 8, approval of the meeting minutes for executive session minutes 2019-05 dated May 28th, 2019. May I have a motion, please? Item 8.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Mallow made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Border?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item 9 is approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes, 2019-13, dated July 9th, 2019. May I have a motion on item 9, please?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Mello made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Warder is our second. Any discussion? Call that vote, please.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Mello?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 10 is approval of the meeting minutes for the special meeting minutes, 2019-14, dated July 24th, 2019. May I have a motion on item 10, please?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that motion, seconded by Trustee Mallow. Thank you. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Mello?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 11, new business by village trustees. We're going to start in District 1. Tim,
No new business.
thank you. District 3.
Yeah, I have a few things. One of the things that happened this month as far as District 3, Cook County approved a Invest in Cook County grant for the Southwest Highway from 95th Street to Ridgeland corridor. This is a valuable roadway for linking all the suburbs and as well the city. It's badly needed. The infrastructure, which will improve the business and consumer appeal of Southwest Highway. So I just wanted to make note that the grant came through. I believe staff put that all together, and it was good news for District 3. Couple other things, the concert on the green, the makeup date for August 18th. This comes from Special Events. Steve Barrett, he wanted me to make sure we let everybody know that Wild Daisy will be performing on August 18th as a backup day from their rain date. District 123 is having a back-to-school extravaganza on August 24th at the Oaklawn Hometown Middle School from 11 o'clock to 1:30. So if you're wondering what all the cars are doing there, that's what's happening there. That's usually what's going on. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. District 4.
Yes, Mayor. I'd just like to announce that St. Germain Parish will be having their second annual carnival the weekend after next. We're talking August 22nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. There'll be food, rides, games, bingos. There'll be a beer garden and live music every night. Certainly want to piggyback on the success of St. Gerald's Carnival and help St. Germain with this event. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. District 5.
Nothing at this time.
District 6.
Nothing this evening.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to
Oh,
item
wait,
12.
wait. You're not
Oops.
going to talk about this? No. Can I have a replay?
Sure. District 5.
Oakland Fire Department was just awarded an ISO 1 rating. It's the highest rating you can get for the fire department, and I really want to congratulate the hard work that Mike Maverick George and Chief Riddle have done to accomplish this goal. It's been a lot of work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of training, a lot of reporting and improving of equipment, and I want to congratulate you both and the whole fire department. Congratulations.
It really was a community effort. I mean, Diana and the Oaklawn Regional Emergency Communications did a wonderful job. Our Public Works Water Division did a wonderful job. I mean, just having the records and the support and the processes in place made a difference.
You know, that's a good point. This isn't just about the fire department, although the vast majority of what is in this report is fire department related. But it also relates to the water supply available. How dependable is it? How much water pressure is there? What capacity is there? And that's where Public Works comes in, and it's the whole department, whole village that makes this possible. So congratulations.
Thank you. Any District 6? No?
Nothing.
Okay, very good. We're going to move on to item 12, Village Manager's Report. Larry?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to begin as well with congratulations to our chief, Mike Maverick George, and to Deputy Chief Riddle for the achievement and for the recognition that is a team effort. Without a doubt, our emergency communications, Diana, and particularly water, with CDM, working closely with Steve Barrett and with the water team, pushed those points up where they needed to be on water supply. But I would be remiss if I didn't give recognition to two division chiefs who were here earlier tonight. Chief Januszewski and Chief Wheeler were here, and I do know, in talking to the chief and to Deputy Chief Riddle, they had a team that upped enhanced credit for training, for operations. Thank you, Deputy Chief Riddle. And for overall leadership, thank you, Chief George. Outstanding. And that's probably one of the reasons why your chief today is sitting before you as the president of the Great Lakes Division of the International Fire Chiefs Association. Now that, Mike would tell you, obviously, that's a professional and personal achievement, but I will tell you that it's for Oak Lawn, and he's expressed that to me, and for Oak Lawn residents, for young firefighter paramedic Engel tonight, who in earlier discussions before his swearing in gave a tremendous commitment. The combination of being an emergency trauma nurse as well as a paramedic responding to calls for our citizens in this great community is just simply outstanding. And under the new contract, our new firefighter will retain, for the first time historically, will retain his paramedic license throughout his career in Oak Lawn. Thank you, firefighter paramedic Engel. Thank you very much. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Item 12A is a motion to direct the administration and council to advertise and solicit proposals for towing services commencing January 1st, 2020. The Board of Trustees will have the ability through committee to review submittals later this fall and hear recommendations from staff as well as interview firms if so desired. May I have a motion on 12A, please?
Motion to approve. Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee
Second.
Porter made that motion, seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Porter?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mayor and Board.
Excellent, thank you. Great news in the Village of Oak Lawn. Item 13, consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine or have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. 13A is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a special use permit for a restaurant in an O zoning district and a parking variance at 9628 South Pulaski Road. This was an 8-0 vote to approve petition number 2019-14. 96th and Pulaski LLC is the petitioner in District 4. And then B is an ordinance granting that request. C is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a 10-foot transitional landscape yard variation at 10901 South Cicero Avenue. This was a 7-0 vote to approve petition number 2019-15. Ashish Desai and Rehanala Mirza are the petitioners in District 6. And then D is an ordinance granting that request. E is a request to approve the Traffic Review Committee referral for a four-way stop sign at 97th Street and Brant Avenue. This was a 6-0 vote to approve. Number TC 1266 SS. Gene Oakes is the petitioner in District 3. And then we have F is an ordinance granting that request. G is ordinance 1915-46, an ordinance approving a real estate contract between the Village of Oak Lawn and Richard and Diana Townshendoe for the purchase of certain real property located at 9710 South 55th Avenue. Item H is ordinance 1915-47, an ordinance approving the sale of certain real property located at 5739 West 87th Street. I is an ordinance 1915-48 approving certain traffic regulations. This is recommending a handicapped person's parking sign at 9327 South 53rd Court. J is ordinance 1915-49, an ordinance approving a resolution authorizing the entry to a settlement agreement with Airway Trailer Park LLC. K is ordinance 1915-50, an ordinance providing for the vacation of portions along 90th Avenue, 91st Avenue, Heating Avenue, and Kilpatrick Avenue. This is the Village of Oak Lawn, the petitioner. Item L is ordinance 1915-51, an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 9 of the Oak Lawn Village Code to create the title of Water Division Manager. M is Resolution 1915-54, a resolution approving a land donation agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Laverne Builders, LLC. N, like Nancy, Resolution 1915-55, a resolution approving an access agreement for Stony Creek Phase 2. Item O, Resolution 1915-56, a resolution awarding the Cadvale Avenue Sanitary Sewer Connection bid contract to Arshon Construction Company Incorporated. P, Resolution 1915-57, a resolution authorizing a professional services agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering Limited to perform certain engineering services pertaining to the Oak Lawn Lake Improvement Project. Q is a request for the Board of Trustees approval and direction to the Board of the Fire and Police Commissioners to promote one fire lieutenant and one fire engineer due to an impending retirement. R is a request for the Board of Trustees approval and direction to the Board of the Fire and Police Commissioners to hire one firefighter paramedic due to an impending retirement and subsequent promotions. May I have a motion on 13, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Desmond made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
No. I'm sorry, who was our second? I had about three at once. I'm going to give it to Trustee Mallow. Thank you. Very good. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to remove A and B.
Okay, A and B for removal, and Trustee Phelan?
I was gonna say this.
Same thing, okay. Anything else? Any other discussion? Okay, we're going to vote on everything with the exception of item A and B on item 13. Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 13A is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for a special use permit for a restaurant in an O zoning district and a parking variance at 9628 South Pulaski Road. This was a 8-0 vote to approve petition number 2019-14. 96th and Pulaski LLC is the petitioner in District 4, and 13B is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion, please, on 13A and B?
Yeah, Mayor, I make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay, thank you. Trustee Vorder made that motion, seconded by Trustee Stalker. Discussion, Trustee Vorder.
Yes, Mayor, prior to this village board meeting tonight, I met with our business officer, Steve Radis, and the property owner of 96th and Cicero, that shopping center, which, ever since I've been elected, has been a little bit of a thorn in my side and the residents' sides, reference to the maintenance of that shopping center. This business, Black Oaks, has been very, very successful and wishes to expand. I think as a result of the meeting, we've reached a possible understanding about the condition of that property. And I believe that the owner is in the board meeting tonight, am I right? Yeah, and we'd like to see some improvement over there. The parking lot is in terrible condition. You went and restriped it over what should have been a repaved parking lot. It's 40-plus years old. It's got potholes everywhere. So I'd like to see you put a little bit of money in that shopping center. Okay? That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Phelan.
Yeah, I was a little confused by, on the petition itself, it said what unique circumstance, I'm sorry, it says what change of land use or variation of ordinance are you requesting? And my primary concern was anytime we have these petitions and it comes from an unidentified group, although we, Trustees Vorder said we know who these people are, it's an LLC, it's got a downtown law firm. It's always good to have the actual owners, who they are, but I'm confused when it says, we request a special use permit and parking variation to allow the existing restaurant in the adjacent space, El Chavez Taquisas, to expand into the next space. Am I reading that wrong? It almost reads like the restaurant El Chavez Taquisas is looking to expand.
Oh, I was under the impression it was Black Oaks. I went and took a look at the
Can the petitioner come and? It's the,
Yeah, I ate there last night. It was very good.
Okay, so this is not the Black Oak.
Okay.
so it's not the Black Oak expanding, it's the Mexican
So
one.
it takes me back to my prior concern is, it's the existing owners looking to expand? And is the LLC that's listed as the owner the existing business LLC, or is it a separate company?
Can you come to the podium, please? And if you could state your name. There's people who will be watching this from home, and so this way they can hear you and see you as well. Thank you.
My name is Fahim Lakhani. I'm the representative of 96th and Pulaski LLC, the owner of the shopping center. So there's a third-party business, that's El Chavez Tequizas, that is looking to expand into the adjacent space of 9628 South Pulaski.
But they're not here. You're the property owner, but
The owner is here.
can you step forward?
Hello, and can you state your name for us, please?
My name is Salvador Gonzalez.
Could you spell your last name? I'm sorry.
Salvador Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, thank you.
I'm the
sorry.
owner for El Chavez Taquizas.
And you've been in business for a while in that location?
And I got 4 months. I started in March 7.
Okay. So this is a little concern is the ambiguous nature who we're dealing with. This is the existing business looking to just simply expand into an adjacent space?
Correct.
And the LLC is established for what purpose?
The LLC owns the retail center.
Could you state that in the microphone, please? Thank you.
Oh, so you, the owner of the property, is actually requesting the expansion
That's
to allow
correct.
his business to grow?
That's correct.
Okay. And I presume, just again, as the village board, we have your information, but I don't mean to make this sound the way it sounds personally. Well, like, who are we dealing with, not some LLC? Okay, and we know who will, if there's a problem, we're not chasing an LLC down on Adams. Okay. That was my primary concern, but I'll defer to trustee Vorder, because it is his district. I've not eaten at this location.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of eating there last night, and I was pleasantly surprised for fast food. It was very, very good.
Good.
So is it fast food? I mean, is it
It's seating. It's a seating
Sit down?
I would say fast casual.
Yeah, fast casual.
is there seating?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
The business is good after 4 months, you need to expand?
What does that have?
It's good.
Must have some good food.
Spend the menu.
Yeah, it was full
Good,
last night.
good. Well,
yeah, we appreciate you being here very much. I appreciate that you've met with trustee Vorder about, some of our concerns. We really do want to see those addressed. You don't want to see, these people, like this nice gentleman here, Mr. Gonzalez, investing and not have the property up to speed. You're going to have a really fancy neighbor at 95th and Pulaski raising the bar for the whole area. We would like to see you raise your ship with that rising tide. It's a good investment for you. We want to see you show that, it's someplace special to be. So, thank you. Any other discussion?
Well said, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, let's call that vote, please. This is 13A and B.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. This brings us to item 14. Congratulations. Item 14 is a approval of a proposal to reorganize, reassign the trustee and resident committees and liaisons. This is Trustee Oliniechek and Trustee Phelan. May I have a motion on that?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Phelan made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. That was Trustee Mallow? Trustee Oliniechek, okay. Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, point of order. What are we voting on?
The plan that was kind of presented at the last meeting.
It's not in the meeting minutes.
Okay.
Not on in the agenda.
Okay.
So I don't know what we're voting for.
The same thing we gave you last time, Bud, that we've been talking about for 2 months.
All right.
And
Here's
that you have not
wait,
reached out once in
At a
60
time.
days.
I have the floor. Here's the problem. I'm not going to vote on anything that's
Don't vote.
not.
Okay, one at a time, gentlemen.
Don't vote. I'm not going to vote on anything. I suggest we not vote on anything something that's not included in this agenda.
It's on your agenda. That's what you're reading.
It's on the
It's an
agenda.
item.
Nothing that we're
One at a
voting
time,
on
please.
is in the agenda.
You were given the proposal last time and said 30
We get
days to review
this.
it.
We get this. I think we could get it rewritten so we know we're voting on the same thing.
Okay.
And I would strongly suggest that anybody that's here that doesn't know what they're voting on, not vote for it.
Do you know how to read?
Okay, Tom.
I think you're insulting, sir.
I am, purposely.
Okay,
know.
let's have one at a time, please, and let's be respectful. Thank you very much.
Mayor, may I take
Yes,
it, please?
Trustee Phelan.
We began this process in June, arguably a year too late, given all the vacancies that existed, all of the meetings that weren't held, the quorums that weren't met because we didn't have enough people, people appealing decisions that couldn't be heard because we didn't have committees that were formed. This is an embarrassment. We began this in June. We allowed a legislative and ethics committee meeting, despite the fact that neither legislation or ethics were involved. We then, the next meeting, gave a detailed report in writing to you and everybody else. Couldn't have been more detailed, what the issues were, what the proposals were. 30 more days pass. I sent you something last week.
Excuse, who you sent?
I sent you an email showing, here are your appointments. Once again, just like I did the prior 2 months. You want to keep playing these games, you're not getting these documents, you're not getting reports. I don't know what else to do to provide things to you that we're providing everybody
I
else.
want it in the agenda packet. How difficult is it to get it in the agenda packet? If you got it
So
all
we have to
prepared,
print
all
it
you
again.
have to do is put it in the packet.
Print it out
So
again for you.
I know
Waste
what
more
we're voting
paper.
on.
We're voting on the same thing we were going to vote on last time that you didn't want to vote on last time. The
Okay.
same exact thing.
I'm going to move you
Madam-
over to
Madam
this
Mayor?
side of the room, which is more peaceful.
I'd like to ask our attorney whether this is legal.
Okay, we have a request for legal opinion. So the question is, if detail is not in the packet, but it's on the agenda, counsel?
Well, there's notice to the board and to the public of what we're about to vote on. It was discussed last time. My understanding was, when we were here last time, but it was asked to be held over. I looked through the packet. There's not details in the packet. As long as the board and the members voting, and I'm not privy to the emails, as long as they were given notice and everybody knows what they're voting on, it's on the agenda item.
I do not.
On the agenda.
I do not.
Okay. So I think trustee Oliniechek, you had a comment? Someone here wanted to speak.
Yeah, in the last meeting that we had, in the meetings before that, there wasn't anybody that doubted that we needed to update and look at the committees. Everyone agreed on it. The pattern of what is a consolidation and modernization, along with updating our ordinances to recognize committees, there was no argument about it. In the last meeting, there was a request for extra time to do some review on it. I've taken the extra time. I've handled all questions from any trustee that's called me about it, and I've gotten none from you, Trustee Stalker. I have from other interested.
I don't have a question except why isn't it in the packet that I'm approving? I'm approving a sentence,
No,
not a packet.
Trustee Stalker, I would humbly disagree with you, and I don't want to be argumentative or obtuse with you, but I will tell you that you have the exact same proposal that we met on in license and legal and ethics. You have the exact same proposal that was brought before this.
Well, that's not true. It was changed from licensing and ethics to what was proposed last week that was sent out at 1:38 in the afternoon on Thursday. So I don't think I know what's going on. I think it would be okay if we got the proposal with the meeting
So,
agenda.
Trustee Stalker, are you making a motion, or are you just discussing?
I asked for an opinion.
Okay.
Did I
and
get that opinion?
Council gave it. And so, okay. Any other discussions on this?
I haven't.
Yes,
Just-
trustee
I
Mel.
mean, this is something that I looked at because I'm new, and I get a chance to look at these committees and see who's there and who the people are there on there. And I'm gonna tell you, when Tom and Alex came to me with this, I was excited. I needed to find some people in District 3 who were willing to step up, and I've done that. I've found a lot of different people who are willing to step up and help out. and do some things, and they're excited to do that.
Paul, it's just a point of order that we shouldn't have to vote on something if it's not in the packet. That's all.
We got a long, very long PDF that had lots and lots of pages, and it explained each committee and what the opinion of staff and what the opinion was.
It was in the packet. It was in last month's packet that you wanted tabled. So forgive us for having to not print it out 100 more times because you need it in your hand and you couldn't hold it over for a month. Or, by the way, ask for it in the last 24, 48, 72, whatever hours that pique your interest. But no, you wait here for theatrics, wasting time, more time. That's what this is about. Let's move on.
I can suggest a way you could have gotten it done right away.
Please do.
Let's call the vote on item 14, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
No.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-1.
Thank you. Item 15, appeal of an adverse decision by the Planning and Development Commission for a special use permit for a two-family residence in an R1 zoning district at 6800 West 96th Street. This was a 6-0 vote to deny. Petition number 2019-5. Mufid Salah is the petitioner in District 1. May I have a motion, please, on 15?
I move the motion to deny.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to deny from Trustee Desmond, seconded by Trustee Oliniechek. And under discussion, I do want to invite the petitioner up. Is the petitioner present? Okay. And sir, if you could come up to the podium and let us know your name, and during the discussion, we'll give you an opportunity also to tell your story. Okay, so any discussion initially?
We motioned.
Okay, so we'll give you the floor first, sir. If you could state your name and let us know why you're here tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mufid Salah. That's my wife. I'm here because of a property. The address is 6800 West 96th Street. I bought the property about 2.5 years ago and never changed anything. It was like this since I believe it was built over 60 years ago. It's a 2-apartment property, 3-bedroom each, a garage, a laundry room that serves both units. I came into the city and I bought 2 rental licenses, 2 apartments. I rented them and I've been rented for 2 years. A few months ago and after 2 years, I was told that I cannot be renting those 2 apartments. I'm very sure you're all familiar with the property. I just want to describe it real quick. It's at the corner of 96th and Oak Park. Across the street is a big church, and there's another big building next to the church that belongs to the church. And 96th Street is about, the section where the property is at is about 3/4 of a mile long. The school blocks it at the east end, and the tower blocks the street at the west end. And Oak Park, about half a mile south of the property, is blocked by railroad and industrial park. Now, I'm here, as we all know, for this petition to be able to keep things the way they are, since I've been doing it for 2 years. The reason I believe it should stay the way it is I bought it as 2 units. When I saw the number, I called in. They said, come in. It's 2 units. I went in there. They showed me 2 apartments. Each one of them is a 3-bedroom apartment. Each one of them has its own entrance on a different street. The house next to the first floor apartment is actually closer to the apartment than the second one on the other street. So it's 2 separate apartments with 2 separate exits and entrances on different streets, and it was built that way. There are no staircase that's hidden in there behind a wall or something that was canceled or something that was added. All the ceilings are 8-foot ceilings. It was built that way, and there is no other proof or pictures to prove otherwise. As I said, the property is totally separate, and it cannot be made again into one. Otherwise, I would not be standing here. I do construction work. If I could have made it in one apartment, I would have brought it back to the way it was, if it was originally different, but it wasn't. This is how it was built. So I can't go there and do something and bring it back and make it one unit. It wasn't one unit ever. Okay, each unit, as I said, has its own entrance on a different street. Each unit has its own heating and cooling system that's very, very old and needs to be changed, that I believe was built with the 2 units. Each unit has its own electric meter. I'm not talking about a split. It's an electric meter that comes from the company. We get 2 separate bills under 2 different names, and that's original. I don't think it can be done without a permit. The 2 apartments, they have 2 separate gas meters that come in with 2 separate bills, not a split where, you know, after the first one you split it so you know who's consuming what. No, it was put in by the gas company and the electric company as an original meter or meters. This place has been like this for tens of years before most of us were born. It has never affected the neighborhood. I've been in that place for around that area for about 11 years. And I have great tenants in there. On the first floor, the 3 apartments, I have 2 brothers and a guy who drives Uber. The 2 brothers, they own a garage. They work 6 days a week, and the other guy drives us at night. The apartment upstairs, it has 2 brothers. They have a car, and one guy drives during the day, one guy drives during the night. There are no problems, no music. We keep it clean. We keep it organized. It's been like this for tens of years. I never changed anything. It was built like this. It has 2 separate meters for gas and electric that was done by the companies. It's not a split after the main one. And I believe the parking as is just as good as being 1 unit because, as I said, these guys are driving day and night and they have garage. So you go down there, you don't see too many cars. And it's not crowded. There is street parking on Oak Park. There is street parking on 96 across the street where the church is at. There is plenty of parking. The driveway, you can put 2 cars, and there is a garage. And behind the house, if I need more parking, I'm willing to spend the money and make more parking. And as I said, the main thing is I wouldn't be here if I can go in there, take out a wall or a staircase that was hidden or canceled. This was built that way. If you drive by it, you'll see it. And that's my case. I bought it as 2 units. I paid dearly for it. When I went in there, they showed me 2 units, 2 separate entrances, 2 meters by ComEd, 2 meters by the gas company. And I bought it, and I came in immediately. I wasn't trying to hide anything. I never thought this is the case. I came in, I bought 2 licenses to rent them, paid for them, and just a few months ago, something came up, and they said, you can't do that. So please, don't change it, because if it's not broken, don't change it. We got guys who are very quiet. It's very clean. It's very nice. We keep it that way. It's going to stay that way. I have a lady from a social office who offered me $2,600 because it's a 6-bedroom apartment for a family, and she even guaranteed my money. But what she doesn't know, you can't put a family in there. It's not connected. If you got a family of 6 people or 8 people, what are you gonna do? You can't go to one apartment unless you go around the house to the other street, go up about 14 steps, and go in. I don't know what to do. If I can fix it, I would fix it. It can't be fixed. It was built this way. There has to be some permits for this property the way it is. Nobody can go in the open and do what they did and make it totally separate. The work takes time, and everybody's watching. The gas company, the electric company, they're not going to come in because I'm going to call them and say, come and give me another one. You have to go somewhere and get some papers to get an official second gas meter and electric meter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, Jack, have you got any comments on this? Are you done?
Jack, if you could come to a microphone, I'd appreciate it, sir.
So I was going to say, I think it's based on the zoning, but there's, it was built in 45. It was, I believe, made into a rental in 65. I'm not sure. There's a whole bunch of history on it. Because of the zoning versus the residential versus single family versus multifamily, it's complicated. So I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, and may I say something? I'm sorry, I don't know if I can.
Sir.
In the minutes last time, it was mentioned that it was 2 units, and the lady, after her husband died, she went somewhere and she was trying to cancel the situation, but it didn't happen because she wanted to save on taxes. So as I said, it was built that way, permits, blueprints were that way, the meters are legal, I bought it that way. It's been like this before I was born. And the main thing, once again, I know I'm repeating myself, I cannot fix the problem. It can't be fixed.
How many tax numbers are on the property? How many tax numbers?
1.
And I would just add that it was, I believe the records showed, and again, there's a whole bunch of, it was vacant for 12 years, the upper rental. So I think that has a legal precedent for it. If you read the memo on page 248, it gives the history.
Can you tell us what it says?
It was built in 45. It was occupied as single family in 1965. In 66, an electrical permit was issued for installation of a meter, so I assume that's the second meter. 2005 letter from residents states the second story of the house was previously used as related living, but was vacant in 1993 or since 1993. So that's 12 years where it sort of lost its grandfathering, I believe.
Right.
So,
If that was a question.
Jack, do you have to have 2 entrances for an apartment?
Well, the other issue is I think they're outside, but, right.
No, I mean, do you have to have 2 entrances from an individual apartment? Not just 2 in the building, but 2 points of egress.
I have been in apartments many times with 1 entry.
I'm asking Mr. Gallagher.
I'm sorry, but I thought I would give in my input. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do.
It sounds like he has 1 for each apartment.
No, the first floor has 2, sir. And the second floor has 1. And as I said, be careful what I say, I have lived in more than 1 apartment that only had 1 way to go in and there is no back door.
so my question, I guess, is when the property was purchased, didn't your attorneys explore if this was a legal 2-unit? Because the neighborhood is all single-family homes there. I don't, it's something I think.
I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But
Legally,
my predicament is.
Madam Mayor, may I?
Certainly.
I have been approached by many residents who live in that neighborhood. I went and took a look at that, and I will tell you that the concern is non-conforming, and the concern will continue to be non-conforming, that is single-family residence.
And I would just add that if you read the minutes from the planning commission, which what you're being asked to overturn, and I'm not, but they have concerns about setting a precedent, right? That if you hear, you may see somebody else standing at that podium down the road.
And need I remind the board that there have been many adjustments throughout many districts of non-conforming where there is single-family residency. One of them most recently in 2nd District at 9200 Parkside. It was multiple family, and it was grandfathered in. There was a change of ownership. The new owners understood that that was going back to single-family, and that is a single-family residence as of this point.
Yes, sir.
About setting a precedence, I have a tablet with a big screen. I went 2 days ago. I took a video about 10 minutes long for the 2 sides of the street where the property is at, and from 95th all the way to the end of Oak Park. There is not one property that's similar to that property that someone can come in and say, I want to do this. I have the video. It's right there. It's about 10 minutes long. It's very slow. You can't see it. There isn't one like it on a corner street that already has a electric meter, a gas meter, a separate entrance, and it was
Mayor-
built.
Mayor, if I
already
could.
out.
That's what I'm talking
Right.
I'm sorry then.
I'm
I
gonna let
apologize.
Village manager,
Okay, sorry about that.
it's okay.
I'm addressing you, not the gentleman. In all due respect, both what trustee Olenichek said and what Council Paul O'Grady said, and the minutes reflecting the residents and their comments, should be your guiding light with the planning commission voting 8-0. If you don't take a stand on these issues, we've done it in the past, as trustee Olenichek has said. We have other examples in the village, and we should be consistent. This is a single-family zoning district. People buy their homes and seek a quality of life that's a single-family home. This is called spot zoning, which has been declared illegal by the United States Supreme Court. So we shouldn't continue spot zoning in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
What am I supposed to do with it? Just leave it empty for the rest of its life? Because there is not much I can do with it. As I said, if I could do something with it, I wouldn't be here. That's a place that's totally separate with meters and entrances, and so I'm supposed to lock the door, and everybody loses money. I do pay taxes on that place. I do pay income tax. I do pay people who fix the place. You know, it's everybody's loss, and I didn't do it. There are permits for the gas and the electric meter. It was built that way.
Okay, we're gonna call the vote. Thank you very much, sir. So we have a motion to deny. Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to deny.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Sella. Okay, item 16, village clerk's report.
It's a
so,
single-family home.
Single-family home.
Just leave the upstairs empty. I mean, I'm just asking because,
You
as
should
I
go
said,
talk to your attorney. But yes, it's a single-family home.
Thank you. Okay, item 16, village clerk's report. 16A is, well, Jane?
Thank you. Approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2019-14D, dated July 23rd, 2019, in the amount of $2,319,331.
Thank you. May I have a motion on 16A?
Motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, trustee Vorder. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded, trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank
And
you.
B is approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2019-15D, dated August 13th, 2019, in the amount of $6,649,327.10.
Thank you. 16B, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, trustee Vorder, seconded by
Second.
trustee Stalker. Thank you. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Item 17. Village President's Report. 17A is a request to approve the local liquor advisory board referral for a Class IV liquor license for Clancy's 95th Limited, doing business as Clancy's 95th at 5763 West 95th Street. This was a 4-0 vote to approve. Kevin O'Kennedy is the petitioner in District 3. May I have a motion on yes. And B also is ordinance 19-1552, an ordinance increasing the number of Class IV liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. Clancy's 95th Limited, doing business as Clancy's 95th, located at 5763 West 95th Street. May I have a motion on 17A and B, please?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Mallow made that motion. Do we have a second? That was trustee Vorder. Thank you. Any discussion? I think the petitioner's here. Can you come to the podium, sir? And I just would like to hear about your new business. You're looking to purchase and move into the former Rusty Nail or the current Rusty Nail.
Yes, I am. It's been 6 years ago to the month that I came before you, and I thank the board for approving Clancy's Pizza Pub. We've been very successful. We've been a good supporter of the community. We've had every charitable donation that we've helped out, and everyone has been, I believe, fairly happy with us. I may have burned 1 or 2 pizzas, but other than that, I haven't had any complaints. What I'm looking at is
Some of us like it burnt.
well done, not burnt, crispy. What I'm looking at is the rusty nail. I think it's a diamond in the rough. It's a freestanding. I will own the building, and I'm going to put tender loving care to bring that building up to the 21st century. I'm going to improve the interior. I'm going to improve the exterior. I'm going to put in a state-of-the-art draft system. And what I'm proposing for the moment is not a change of use. I will be catering food from my existing place over there with the intention of making modifications as permits and that allow to make sure that my pot roast rolls are hot and ready on demand in the place there. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good opportunity, and would love to have the post-trustee meetings held there on a regular basis.
Mayor, can I add something?
Sure.
It's a story that I tell a lot of people. It's funny that Kevin said this 6 years ago to the month. The day he opened was a Thursday night, and it was pouring rain, just like it was we came into the meeting. And our softball games got rained out, and myself, Pat O'Donnell, and Jerry Ash, former policeman, went to his place, and he was the only person in there sitting at the computer back to us in the register, and we sat there, you know, kind of having a beer and maybe order an appetizer and saying to ourselves, this guy's done. He won't last the month. And he must have overheard us at some point. We probably got loud. He kind of turned around and he said, oh, no, this is purposeful. He said, wait till you guys have my food. You know, I like starting slow. His story is fascinating. Came from Maui, of all places, had an Irish bar in Maui and ends up in Oak Lawn. Don't ask him how or why. But
it was a pretty lady.
Yeah, right.
Fancy.
And a U2 concert, something about that. But at the end of the day, he just knocked it out of the park. I mean, the neighborhood loves it. I think all of us have enjoyed the pizza, the drinks, the appetizers. He's expanded, runs a great business. As he said, very supportive of the community. So I was elated to see this, and I hope you do really well, Kev.
Thank you.
Tom.
If I can
Here, I have a question.
Trustee Warder next. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if you're lucky and you're there, the gentleman will ask you if you want an Irish song, either a fighting song or a drinking song, and he'll bell them out beautifully.
Come on in. I'll a couple of pints of courage, and I'll be happy to sing for you anytime.
Larry.
Mayor, Trustee Vorder hit it on the head. That was my question. Would we find him on 95th Street singing that fighting song?
May dance a jig or two as well.
Well, maybe Trustee Desmond will get his tin flute going.
There you go.
Tin whistle.
Tin whistle, sorry.
Cork.
I'm Lithuanian. I don't get it. Okay. You know, on a more serious note, you know, when you were at our preliminary meeting, you know, I really have a problem with the signage out there. It's very garish, and I know you'd said you'd wanted to tone it down a little bit, and I just want to get...
Yes, I do, and I said I'm going to make improvements to the exterior. Right now, honestly, and your concern, it looks like a game place, and it's not going to look like that.
Thank you.
Now, if you could please drive by there tonight, at my request, it has been dimmed already at night, so it's not blazing in people's eyes.
It blinds you when you drive down 90. It's horrible.
Yeah,
The worst sign ever.
It's been dimmed at night. It went from 100% down to 75%, and the rate at which it's changing over went from like 6 seconds, boom, 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 in your face, to 20 seconds. Now, I'm working with the company that half of that is going to be, instead of all gaming, which, I mean, I'm a business first. I'm an Irish tavern first. It's going to be 50% come in, we support our troops, you know, we love Oak Lawn, things to that effect, and, you know, support our police officers and firefighters. So that, to your concern.
Thank you. I really appreciate that very much. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, let's call the vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll see you there.
Thank you very much. In Irish, they say Guramila Mahagit, 1,000 thank yous.
Thank you. Okay, 17C, a
Don't
request.
have to say it like that.
How should it be said, Trustee Desmond?
Not like that.
Thank you. 17C is a request to approve the local liquor advisory board referral for Class VV liquor license for Golden Partnership LLC, doing business as The Whistle, 4911 West 95th Street. This was a 4-0 vote to approve. Mr. Joe Lombardo is the petitioner in District 3, and then Ordinance 191553, an ordinance increasing the number of Class VV liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. Golden Partnership LLC, doing business as The Whistle, located at 4911 West 95th Street. May I have a motion on 17C and D?
Motion approved, ma'am.
Thank you. Trustee Vorder made that motion. Do we have a second? That was Trustee Phelan. Thank you. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So E is ordinance 191554, an ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 3, Section 7 of the Oak Lawn Village Code pertaining to liquor license fees. May I have a motion, please, on 17E?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Mallow made that motion, seconded by
Second.
Trustee Desmond. Any discussion here? It's called, yes.
Following the green. Here we go.
Okay. Okay, we got to call the vote first. On 17, E, yes.
E.
Let's call the vote,
Trustee
please.
Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, F, ordinance 191555, an ordinance increasing the number of Class C liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. This is fall on the green, September 6th through the 8th. May I have a motion on 17F?
Motion approved.
Trustee Mallow made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. That was Trustee Phelan. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yeah.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I have no new business for my report. Item 18 is executive
Mayor?
session.
Before we go, can I make comment that in our audit, we talked a lot tonight about
Sure.
the success of our fire department.
Sure.
Okay, and the hard work of our chiefs. In our audience tonight is Mary Lou Parker.
Yes.
Her husband was a fire chief many years ago, worked very hard. We actually have a fire station named after her, and I think it's important to recognize her tonight.
Hi, Mary Lou. Welcome.
You're very welcome, Mary Lou.
Thank you.
You can go.
Okay, very good. So item 18, executive session 2019-08 for the purpose of discussing number 1, pending litigation, number 2, collective negotiating matters, and 3, approval of closed session minutes 2019-06 dated July 9th, 2019, and 2019-07 dated July 24th, 2019. May I have a motion on 18, please?
Motion to approve.
Trustee Vorder made that motion. Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Trustee Desmond is our second. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yep.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And so we'll clear the room for the executive session. And thank you very much. Gentlemen, if any of you want to take pictures of this or see this packet on the ISO